welcome back. In today's episode I'm going to be priming the roof and installing it on the car, as well as doing a few other small things. So if you enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe, it really helps me out. But with that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Okay, so after weeks of my dad trying to fix the roof up and sand it all down and bog it and get rid of every little scratch and that, I've decided that it's time to try and prime it again. The first time I did it, I don't know if you remember or not, but it didn't actually stick properly to the roof. So now I'm going to prime it again and hope to God that it sticks, and then I'm going to prime the inside and paint the inside with chassis black so I can put it on the car. As well as, I don't think I included the footage in the last video, but I got the pedal covers on that I bought. All my new engine mounts arrived, and I put on these rails that connect the windshield to the back section of the cab. The only problem with these is I might have to take like this inside bit out, it just presses in, but I might have to take that out to put the roof on because the bolt holes for the roof actually go through there. I didn't really think that through when I was putting it on, but so now we're going to get straight into priming the roof then. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours since I painted the roof and it's come up pretty nice. There's a few spots that are a bit sketchy. I'm not really worried because I'm going to put some sound deadener over this from car builders and then put some headliner in it possibly. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to worry about headliner yet or not. I probably should just to make it look nice, but yeah. I also repainted the little cover for the ashtray, which I'm just going to use as a little spot to put like coins and things. But it didn't come out too good, like it's a bit cracked and that, so I'm going to sand that down and redo it. As well as over here, I got out all the rubbers for the roof and they're pretty much destroyed, so I'm going to have a look online tonight to try and find some new ones. I found some already, but they're 150 bucks just for rubbers, which is pretty insane. So now I'm going to head over into the other garage and show you what the doors look. So for the last couple of hours I've completely stripped down both of the doors. There's nothing left inside of them at all. Now I've been sanding this one. This is the other door here. Strip that down as well. But this looks pretty nice. This is the worst door of the two, rust-wise. There's a bunch of rust down in this bottom sill, but you know, I kind of expected that. This one's definitely worse than the other door. The other door's actually reasonable. This door's still not great rust-wise, but within the next week or so, my plan is to have these doors painted and put back on the car. They probably won't have all the interior parts put back inside the doors yet. That'll just be hanging on the car. I'll fit all those parts later on. But for now, I'm going to keep sanding this and working on a couple other things. Okay, just painted these quickly in primer, just painted the bottom of them. The gun wasn't working too good, so it came up with a little bit of texture on this, but it'll be alright once I put the top coat of chassis black on. I'll just run a bit of finish through the gun before I do that, obviously. I have to do that anyway to get the primer out, but I reckon it looks pretty good, other than the texture bit, but I think that was to do with the bottom of it being rough anyway as well. So now I'm going to wait 5 minutes, flip them over and prime the top of them, and then I'll paint them with chassis black. Alrighty, have a look at this beast. I just sat the bonnet on and I bolted this front bib on, or whatever you call it, and it looks sick. So I think I've actually decided I'm just going to paint the car black. It looks sick in the chassis black, but I'm going to spray the entire thing in Raptor liner, I think. But I'm probably going to get this colour matched or just get another Raptor gloss black or something. But the thing looks sick right now. Obviously the bonnet's not bolted on, it's just sitting up there, but it looks awesome. And yeah, now I just got to get these guards all painted up and bolt them on and bolt the bonnet on. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do all that now or wait until the motor goes in, just because of room, and it'll be a lot easier to put the motor in without all this stuff on. But the thing looks sick. Yeah, the other thing is this new replacement for the chassis black is a different colour to this stuff. So I painted this all ages ago with the Moto Spray subframe black, but the company that supplies it, I believe, went out of business. So places like Autobahn and that are no longer stocking it. So now we've got this replacement paint, which is supposed to be the same, but it's actually a completely different colour. So I painted, touched up a few little bits, and it looks different. But thank God they're all on the outside that I touched up, and I'm respraying the whole outside of the car anyway. So yeah. In this episode, this might be all, I'm not entirely sure. Depends on when my roof seal rubber arrives. Once that arrives, the roof will be going on. I've actually got my door seal rubbers now, as well as I'm waiting on all the hinge rubbers for the bonnet and the doors. And I bought new kick vent seals, but I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to need them or not, seeing as the ones that were already on them are actually still intact. So I might stand up the kick vent seals later on today and try and get them on the car. And just work on a few other little bits like the wiper motor cover, you know, just things like that. So yeah, so I've been doing a bit more work on the car. I got to take the bonnet and front bib off just so it's easy to put the motor in. I'm probably going to take the bull bar off and all the radiator support and everything, just clear out this engine bay to help get the motor in. So I'm probably going to do that in the morning tomorrow, or I'm going to have to do it after school. But I've also put the roof on today. It's completely bolted in now. And I put these side seals back on after I had to take them off. Yeah, so that's all bolted in now. Solid as. That's cool. I also just sat the driver's seat in and the steering wheel. Just put this on hand tight just to see what it would look like back in the car, because I haven't seen it in the car for a few years now. So now I've been sitting in it and my knees are bloody hitting the steering wheel, so I'm going to have to drive with either my legs wide apart to try and not hit the steering wheel, or I'm going to have to buy an adapter kit. You can buy a little spacer that sits on there, can't remember what it's called, but then you put a small wheel on it, which I might do. The only problem with that is I'm going to lose a lot of the, the actual, what's called, turning radius, so it'll make it a lot harder to turn because there's no power steering. So I've either got to get the smaller wheel and then buy a power steering kit, or I can just suck it up with the big wheel and try and find an original driver's seat, because this isn't the original one, this is an aftermarket one. It's a bit buggered as well, this doesn't clip up, it just falls down. A few other things like that's all split and stuff. It is still on the original frame though, which is a good thing. But other than that, I'm not sure what else I've done. I'm not sure if I showed you, but I put all the little door locks in. I'm going to put the seat belts in. But other than that, that's about it now. I'm going to move on to working on these kick vents over here. I'll start working on them. Yeah, I'm going to start working on them. And then I'm going to put them back where they're supposed to go in here. So they flip out. They actually allow airflow into the cab to, it's instead of having an aircon, you kick that open and wind down the windows to try and get a bit of air through the cab. Yeah, it's not focusing. There we go. So I've decided, because this chassis black looks really nice, even though I'm not sure how well you can see that on camera, but it marks up pretty easy like that. but I'm not really too worried about that. So the plan is now I'm going to paint the entire car in chassis black, and I'm probably just going to do that until it gets roadworthied, and then after that, if I'm not happy with how the chassis black looks, I'm going to paint it with Raptor liner. So within the next, I'm going to say 3-4 weeks, the entire car will be black and there'll be guards on it, and hopefully the motor will be in. So the mechanic gave me an estimate of a few weeks, I believe, and then that can finally go back in. I haven't seen that in the car for ages, but that's what it looks like now. I pulled the Kenworth sticker off the bar. I'm probably going to take the Makita one off just to make it cleaner. I put them on ages ago, but they all started peeling. The only one that's actually survived is the Makita one. But yeah, so once I get this all roadworthy and back on the road, it's going to get a lift kit, bigger tyres. You know, I'm not going to do anything too crazy. Maybe like 33s and a 2-inch lift. Just keep it stock. Maybe even a 3-inch if I can afford it. But for now, we're going to stick with these tyres, or even swap them to the stock tyres of the 79 over there. I'm not entirely sure if they're all-terrains. Okay, that's all for this episode. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe below. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.